Welcome back to the Easy English podcast. I'm your host, Oliver, and today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, the environment. And we are going to be talking about it in easy and clear English to help you learn. To me, this is an incredibly important topic. So why we should protect and help the environment. Whether we notice it or not, everything in our daily lives depends on a healthy environment. From the air that we breathe to the food that we eat. So today, let's explore why taking care of our planet matters and how each of us can make a difference. And hopefully in the process you will hear and learn some new words while practicing your English listening skills. So to start with, let's talk a little bit about why protecting the environment is important. Why is it important? Often people are so quick to dismiss, so not want to talk about the topic of the environment. They want to focus more on business, on progress, making money, and development. But in reality, our planet, the planet Earth, our environment, provides us with so many basic and essential things for us. The air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and even the weather patterns that allow us to grow food. These all come from nature. And of course, here in the UK, in the United Kingdom, we love to talk about the weather. So it's a very relevant, a very important topic. And without a healthy environment, it becomes harder and harder for us to continue to live and have healthy lives. All sorts of nasty things like pollution, deforestation, which is cutting down trees, and climate change put a lot of stress on the planet. And this stress affects us as people too. For example, we might have dirtier water, so we might not be able to swim as much because we are polluting the water. We might have less food or less of certain types of food because we can't grow it anymore. Or we might have more extreme types of weather, more hurricanes, more heat waves and droughts, more floods. These are all reasons as to why we should help our environment. Okay, so the first point as to why we should help and protect our environment is our connection with nature. So we are one with nature when you think about it. We aren't separate. Think about how connected we are. If forests are cut down, if we cut down and remove the trees, not only are those trees gone and the animals lose their homes, but we also lose a source of clean air, as the trees help to produce oxygen for us. If we pollute our oceans, not only do the fish and the marine life be affected, but it also affects our food supply, as many people depend on fish for food. So as you can see, when we hurt nature, when we harm nature, we hurt ourselves, we hurt people too. And ultimately, if we destroy nature, we will destroy ourselves. We will destroy humans in the long term. And I know this sounds quite depressing, quite sad, like, oh no, look what we are doing to the environment, it's very bad. But that's why I want to talk mainly about what can we do to help. So now that we know that protecting the environment is important and that our actions make a difference, what can we actually do to help protect the environment? Well, to be honest, you don't need to be a superhero to help the environment. And I also understand that so much of what we can do to protect the environment is outside of our control. So it is decisions from governments, from big businesses, and these will have much more of an influence than what we do personally. But if each and every person does their own bit to help the environment, then it will cause a large change and a large help to the environment across the world. So here are some small steps or small things that can have a really big impact. Number one is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. So to try to cut down on waste, on the stuff that we throw away. Recycling helps us to lessen the amount of trash, the amount of rubbish that we put into landfills. Because these landfills, these places where we leave our trash, they create very dangerous gases that go into the atmosphere. So reusing items instead of buying new ones can also really help us to reduce waste. For example, buying second-hand items, things that have already been used and that person doesn't want them anymore. The second point that we can do to help is to save energy. My dad loves this one. He loves to turn off lights, to use energy-saving light bulbs. And these are things that we can do too. So we can turn off lights when we don't need them. We can use energy-efficient light bulbs. And we can also just make sure that we're not wasting electricity, so leaving things on overnight when we don't need to. This helps reduce the demand for electricity, which also helps reduce the non-renewable energy sources that we're using, like oil and gas. And just like saving energy, we can also save water. So just like energy, we can take shorter showers, for example, and use less water. And also make sure that we don't have any leaks, like when water is escaping, getting away from a pipe. Water is so important for our planet and for life. And there are many places that don't have enough water. So it's important that we use less and leave more for nature. Something else that we can do, which is important, is to maybe support companies and use products that are sustainable and better for the environment. So to just take a look and see if a company has maybe packaging that is eco-friendly, for example, that you can recycle. Maybe a company that donates large amounts of money to help the environment, or that are reducing their pollution, so the level of pollution that they do into the environment. All of these things can be very important. These are just a few examples of little steps that we can take to help protect our environment. Because after all, we are not just helping the environment, we are helping ourselves and our future, and our children's future. Imagine a future where everyone works together to protect the environment. Clean air, healthy forests, safe drinking water, all of these things are possible for the whole world if we all just do our part. Remember, each small step matters, and we can all do our part. When we do, these actions, these little steps, all add up and make a big positive impact on the planet. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Easy English Podcast. If you found this episode helpful and interesting, and you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like this video. If you're a listener or new, like the video to support and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think and maybe some topic ideas for future videos. Until next time, stay safe and keep doing your part to protect our environment. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.